back.
Hell yeah!
I take it very, very seriously.
This week on Hollywood Express. F9 is already a record breaker.
It's very humbling to watch them and be able to take advice from them.
A magical reunion is in the works.
Every night, we take a hard look at the stories and provide you with multiple points of view from here and around the world. Now, we'll bring you more news you can use from the trading floor and the global markets, and bring you more news you can trust in business and finance. Buy, sell, hold on The Final Word, weekdays at 9 p.m. only on CNN Philippines.
There is always a suspicion that a new virus might emerge.
You can imagine the nightmare scenario where you just have a vast epidemic with many cases leading to a huge mortality.
We are now in a world where new pathogens will come out that will constitute a threat for humanity.
This is Newsnight, where we go above and beyond the headlines. I'm Rico Hizon, sitting in for Pion Teveros. Tonight on the program, a rare handshake and a good surprise. Election frontrunner Bongbong Marcos' group welcomes the move of Vice President Leni Robredo's team as Congress canvasses votes for the President and Vice President. A survivor recounts her ordeal after fire hit their passenger vessel off the coast of Quezon and left 7 people dead. An investigation is underway. And we give you a sneak peek on the new trailer of Marvel's latest film, Thor: Love and Thunder. More than 4 hours and counting, lawmakers are canvassing the votes for President and Vice President. You're now seeing live pictures from the Batasang Pambansa in Quezon City. The Senate and House of Representatives convened today as a National Board of Canvassers in a joint session for this constitutional mandate. Lawmakers are hoping to proclaim frontrunners Bongbong Marcos and Sara Duterte as President and Vice President-elect as soon as they finish counting all the ballots cast. And as of this time, lawmakers say a proclamation may happen tomorrow afternoon. CNN Philippines is closely monitoring these developments. Earlier, 2 presidential contenders posed no objections to all certificates of canvass. Chief correspondent and anchor Pion Tiveros joins us now live from the Batasang Pambansa. Pia, thank you so much for joining us. Before we talk about the issues of 2 candidates having no objections, tell us what is the latest right now on the Batasang Pambansa floor?
Yeah, Rico, what's happening now is the canvassing is going very smoothly. It is smooth sailing. We already have the Joint Canvassing Committee of the National Board of Canvassers has already canvassed 46 out of 173 COCs. Ang COCs, Certificate of Canvass, ito yung mga resulta mula sa mga probinsya, mga cities or lungsod, overseas absentee voting, and local absentee voting. So 46 out of 173, 26.59%. This is a record, okay? This never happened before. And we've had the canvassing going on for like 3.5 hours pa lang. Ngayon, if you look at the numbers, and I don't want to go through everything, no, because all the numbers are available on halalan2022.info, which is the Batasang Pambansa website, no, and the Joint Canvassing Committee website. But very, very quickly, no, just look at the numbers. Isabela, for example, which is Region 2, Cagayan Valley, this is where the D family is king, in a way. You have BBM with 763,000 plus votes. Leni, only 82,000 votes. Region 3, Central Luzon, Quezon, Tarlac, Nueva Vizcaya, and Zambales delivering for BBM. The overseas absentee voting, Singapore, 36,000 plus votes for BBM, Leni, 12,283. Leni, of course, leading in at least one Region 5 or Bicol province, which is Catanduanes. Leni has 123,805 votes and BBM 31,454. Let's go all the way down to Mindanao, and I'm just giving you glimpses of all these numbers. Dinagat Islands, 46,898 for BBM and 10,690 for Leni. What's significant here is that the governor is Kaka Bagao, who was allied with the LP, a former Akbayan member also. So you have these numbers in spite of the fact that the governor is Akbayan. Now, we can't go, like I said, we can't go through all the numbers, but those numbers are available on halalan2022.info. And that's something, it's interesting, Rico, I was saying earlier, that when you look at the numbers, the provinces, the cities, dun mo talaga makikita what it's like on the ground. Because, well, like we always say, all politics is local. I won't go any further than that, or else it will take an entire 10 minutes. Now, I've covered elections since 1992. No? So pag national elections, 92, 98, 2004, 2010, 2016. No? And of course, yung elections previous to 2010, manual yon. No? So elections 2010 onwards, automated. Ibang-iba talaga. Ibang-iba kapag automated. Wala masyadong objections. Kung meron man, konti lang. Wala masyadong sigawan, halimbawa, ngayong automated. Now, I bring this up because we're going to talk now about Romy Macalintalo, Romy Mac's manifestation. No? Number one, they will no longer interpose any objection to any of the COCs. And number two, that they're waiving their appearance already before the Joint Canvassing Committee. Napakalaking impact nito because then it paved the way for what's happening now. So things are picking up. Things picked up actually right after that. And of course, sinagot siya ni Vic Rodriguez. They appreciated yung sinasabi ni Romy Mac. Ngayon, sinasabi ko rin ito because this floored me because like I said earlier, I covered all these elections and all the canvassing since since 1998. So nakita ko yung difference. This floored me because this had never happened before, like I said. No? And malayong-malayo ito dun sa manual elections. Also, I also wanted to say na we were going to speak also to Mig Zubiri, but he's going to be joining us a little later on na lang in the show. Now, Mig Zubiri, of course, is chairing the 7-man Senate contingent for this joint canvassing committee. So, that's it, Rico, no? Smooth sailing, and we expect, like you were saying earlier, we do expect a proclamation by tomorrow. Although we're looking at the time, I'm sure a bulk of the COCs can be finished by midnight tonight.
Thank you so much, Pia. We will be back with you later on a Newsnight when you speak to Senator Mig Zubiri with the ongoing process, the quick pace of this canvassing of votes. Pia Ontiveros there at the Batasang Pambansa. And we'll also have details with Amor Santos later on Newsnight. Let's now head to Tubaran Town in Lanao del Sur, where special elections were held earlier today. Authorities deployed over 1,000 police authorities and soldiers in the area to avoid another violent incident similar to what happened on May 9th. George Cahiles has his story.
This was election day in Tubaran, Lanao del Sur. Violent, chaotic. Poll officials declared a failure of elections in 12 barangays. 2 weeks later, authorities closely secured the special elections with over 1,000 police and military personnel deployed in the perimeter of polling centers. That's apart from the 60 police officers acting as members of the Board of Election Inspectors. The police reported sightings of armed groups in the area in the past days.
We have been monitoring all movements in the surroundings. Ang RSTO-TG ay nagsagawa ng checkpoint at meron ding patrolling in the vicinities.
Maganda naman ang takbo and peaceful yung tatlong voting centers. Hopefully, 10 o'clock in the evening, matapos na ito lahat, may akyat na sa Provincial Board of Canvassers ang lahat ng results coming from the municipality of Tubaran.
Elections in Lanao del Sur have been marred often by violence and intimidation. Observers say even terrorist group Dawla Islamiyah or the Maute group posed a threat during the May 9 polls.
They used the past 8 months during the electoral campaign to consolidate. There have been numerous sightings, even the military, even in media reports about training, recruitment happening.
The military says violence could have been worse if it failed to neutralize Maute members in Maging Lanao del Sur in March. Based on intelligence information, some politicians were supposed to use Maute members during the election period.
When we got that information sa early on this year, noong January, February, hinanap namin sila and we were fortunate to find them out. Ayun nga, nakita namin na doon sila sa Maging. Nag-armas sila eh.
The military says Maute still recruits young members, even minors. As a group under Abu Zakaria remains a threat to the province, Maute cannot launch an attack similar to the Marawi siege in 2017. Even so, the military says it is preventing the group from conducting terrorist acts in Lanao del Sur. George Cahiles, CNN Philippines.
A 2-week waiting game for party list groups may soon be over as COMELEC looks to formally award 63 congressional seats by Thursday. The poll body is counting on the special polls in Tubaran Town and the transmission of over 680,000 votes from the province of Lanao del Sur in the next 2 days to finalize the rankings.
Tignan natin yung pagkakadikit-dikit nila. Kung yung natitirang boto sa Shanghai hindi na makakaapekto, we will be able to proclaim the 63 seats. Pero kung makakaapekto, we let the national board decide on whether there will be partial or we suspend the other parts po ganyan.
COMELEC expects to receive the Lanao del Sur votes electronically by Wednesday morning, which will then be canvassed at 3 p.m. and included in the official tally. Well, now on your screens are the groups ahead of the race for party lists. 6 out of the 177 organizations have clearly secured the required 2% share of votes cast for the party list race based on COMELEC's partial official tally last week. And among them are the anti-crime group ACT CIS, led by nominees Eric Yap and Jocelyn Tulfo, wife of Senator-elect Rafi Tulfo. COMELEC says the group may get the maximum of 3 seats in the 19th Congress. Technical preparations are underway at the PICC Forum tent in Pasay in anticipation of the proclamation. 2 officials per party list may attend the ceremony. In other news, authorities are figuring out the cause of the fire in Quezon Province that killed 7 people at sea on Monday. Paige Javier reports the passenger vessel faces the risk of losing its franchise as survivors appeal for help.
27-year-old Jessa Malate did not let her fear overcome her faith. She was one of the 126 passengers aboard MV Mercraft II that caught fire in Rizal, Quezon on Monday. Jessa is not new to facing life's challenges. For 15 years, she has battled ovarian cancer, now reaching stage 4. But she did not expect that a boat ride on the way to her chemotherapy session would lead to another problem.
Nagtatalunan na po yung mga tao at naghahanap po ako ng pwedeng makuha na salbabida po pero wala po ako makita. Kaso malapit na po yung apoy sa may likodan ko kaya po wala akong choice kundi tumalo na lang.
While she's grateful for getting a new lease on life, she lost her belongings and savings, including her money for therapy and medicines. Jessa is now asking for help.
Marami po akong binebenta na mga sa online selling po para makabili po ng gamot pang pa-therapy ko po at pambili po ng gamot pero kasama po yun sa lumubog. 15 years na po akong lumalaban sa cancer kaya sabi ko kahapon hindi pwedeng mamatay lang ako sa lunod dahil matagal na akong lumalaban sa cancer.
The mayor of Polillo Island wants to ban Mercraft from their waters. Mercraft meanwhile said it is ready to face an investigation and is willing to assist the rescued passengers and surviving families.
Humihingi po ulit kami ng malawak na pangunawa. Maging ang lahat ng taga-Polillo po at lahat ng pasahero namin. Sana dumating lang yung panahon at time na kami ay inyo nang napatawad. Wala pong may kagustuhan nito.
The local Coast Guard has spoken to the boat captain, some crew members and passengers to find out the cause of the fire.
Tingnan natin kung talaga kung saan nagmula at ano pa ang dapat nating magiging recommendation o na hindi na natin dapat mangyari muli ang trahedya.
Marina is expected to begin its parallel probe tomorrow. If it finds proof of violations, Mercraft may be stripped of its franchise. Authorities hope to finish the investigation within 1 week. In Real, Quezon, Paige Javier, CNN Philippines.
And when we come back on Newsnight, correspondent Amor Santos takes us back to the Batasan Pambansa in Quezon City, where lawmakers are canvassing the Filipino votes for President and Vice President. And in our health coverage, we'll tell you everything you need to know about a rare disease that has been spreading through many countries. Keep it right here on CNN Philippines. News you can trust.
Land Bank has always believed that in this country, we have to dream big. And so we learned to build something out of nothing, improving the quality of life for our people so that we can keep in step with a brave new world and make our big dreams come true.
Fried chicken? Timplang happy. Tocino? Timplang magandang gising. Inasal? Ito, medyo timplang umuusok. Galit-galitan. Spicy? Timplang hot na hot. With easy-to-cook Magnolia Chicken Timplados. Iba't ibang sarap ng chicken, kaya. Ikaw, anong Magnolia Chicken Timplados mo? Iba't ibang easy chicken sarap.
Welcome back to Newsnight on CNN Philippines. I'm Rico Hizon. We're still keeping a close watch on the canvassing of votes at the House of Representatives. The camp of presumptive President Bongbong Marcos welcomes the move of Vice President Leni Robredo's team to raise no objections to all certificates of canvass. Amor Santos joins us now live from the Batasan Pambansa complex in Quezon City. Amor, thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight. What are Marcos's next moves now? Could he be proclaimed President-elect tomorrow?
Well, Rico, by this time tomorrow, Bongbong Marcos may have been proclaimed President-elect, and his spokesperson, Attorney Vic Rodriguez, assures Marcos will be here at the House of Representatives to attend his proclamation. Rodriguez calls it a quote-unquote good surprise that Vice President Leni Robredo's camp raised no objections to all certificates of canvass and even waived their appearance before the Congressional Canvassing Committee. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno's lawyer also did not raise any objection from their side. Because of these, Canvassing Committee Chairman, Co-Chairman Mig Zubiri sees the canvassing of votes for President and Vice President to be over by early afternoon tomorrow. Zubiri says it marks the start of the nation's healing after what he calls an emotionally charged election. Rodriguez says these are consistent with the Marcos' call for unity. Notably, he called Robredo Vice President despite the electoral protest filed by Marcos against her victory in 2016.
We thank them, not just Vice President Leni Robredo, but even Mayor Isko Moreno for recognizing, again, the integrity of the election and the electoral process, for recognizing the vibrancy of our democracy as exhibited last May 9 election, and for recognizing a clear win and the overwhelming mandate given by the Filipino people to President-elect Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr.
magpapahinga na sila mamayang gabi.
On the part of Marcos's running mate, Mayor Sara Duterte, her lawyer Beng Sardillo says the Duterte camp is still coordinating for her expected proclamation as Vice President-elect. Meanwhile, both Senate President Tito Soto and Senate Minority Leader Franklin Drilon say they see no problem with Marcos' sister, Senator Amy Marcos's inclusion in the canvassing committee.
What can a relative do? Hindi naman humahawak ng ano yun. Hindi naman humahawak ng COC yun basta-basta o hindi naman yun tagabasa. Kundi kasama rin sa committee na ino-observe yung bilangan, yung pagbilang.
Drilon says he believes there's no stopping the canvassing and proclamation, adding that petitioners can later bring their issues against Marcos with the Presidential Electoral Tribunal composed of Supreme Court justices. Back to you, Rico.
Amor, where is Bongbong Marcos now and how is he preparing for the proclamation?
Well, Rico Rodriguez says Marcos will be ready anytime tomorrow for the proclamation. They're seeing it happening at around 4 to 6 p.m. And right now, or early this afternoon during the press conference, Rodriguez said Marcos was in their headquarters in Mandaluyong. He said they initially planned to focus on the canvassing of votes today until Thursday. But because of the latest development, closest rival, Vice President Leni Robredo, throwing in the towel, Rodriguez said Marcos will be back to work, working on forming his cabinet. Marcos is also scheduled to meet with 2 to 3 personalities today for their possible appointment as cabinet secretaries. And the Marcos camp is expected to announce more nominees by Friday. Rico?
Amor Santos, thank you so much for that update. Reporting live from the Batasang Pambansa. Joining us again now is Chief Correspondent and Anchor Pio Ontiveros, who is now with the Canvassing Committee Co-Chairman, Senator Migs Zubiri. Pia, over to you.
Thank you, Rico. So you've already introduced him. Hi, Migs. Thank you very much for Senator Migs Zubiri. Thank you for being with us on Newsnight. So let's first talk about the update. Kanina kasi at 6 o'clock, I was saying it's 26.59%, almost 27%, no? 46 out of 173 COCs canvassed. What is it now?
We're about 30% now. We have we've canvassed about 52 COCs going to the 53rd COC. We started about 2:30 this afternoon, so we're moving very fast, very well. We'll stay probably till 11 or even up to midnight and try to finish about 100 COCs, and we'll continue tomorrow for the remaining COCs. We're looking at wrapping this up by maybe 1 o'clock and pause for about an hour or two for the report, the joint canvass report, which we'll submit to the joint session of Congress, both the House and the Senate. That'll be around maybe 3 o'clock. So we're looking at the proclamation at around maximum 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
4 o'clock or prime time?
Well, yeah. But the way it was going, we were initially thinking it'll be up to 6 to 7 o'clock. But the way it's going, it might be done by 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. You know, kanina, I was saying that I think one of the reasons kung bakit things are smooth sailing, going very smoothly, is because of what Romy Mac said earlier today. No? And you had a reaction to that.
Yes, we all actually had a very happy, surprise reaction to that. You know what makes canvassing very difficult? And napapatagal talaga ng canvassing ng votes for President and Vice President, yung continuous objections ng mga iba't ibang abogado ng iba't ibang kandidato. So, malaking gulat namin kanina na the legal counsel, the legal counsel of Vice President Leni Robredo, Attorney Macalental, together with the counsel of Mayor Isko Moreno, which is Ma'am Attorney Vizalina Lumbera, had mentioned that there will have a motion of a continuing motion of no objection to allow us to canvass each and every COC without question. As long as, of course, we do our job also to make sure that walang discrepancies. We have to make sure na yung electronically transmitted at yung manually transmitted sa amin ay both magkatugma and they're matched. We have no problem. So, We thank them for their graciousness. We'd like to thank Attorney Mac and of course Attorney Lumbera for their graciousness. The two candidates for their graciousness. I think it's now time to heal. It's now time to unite. It's time to move forward. I really thank them for that, as I said, graciousness and patriotism, wanting us to move forward from the very divisive, very emotional election of last May 9, 2022.
Right, okay. Well, before we move forward, let's look a little backward, just a bit, though, because I've covered elections since 92 and yung mga canvassing, 98, 2004, 20, etc., etc. No? And nakita naman natin yung difference ng pag-manual and then pag-automated at lalo na ngayon. You know, there are a lot of young people watching. I mean, so, you know, explain a bit, you know.
I've had an experience of going through national elections, which is manually counted, which is 207, and you know that's a very messy affair. And iba na yun, yung automated elections na yun ay napakabilis. Alam mo, hindi katulad dati, manual elections, nung pagbilangan sa presinto, di ba? Anything can happen. They can change the COCs once it's transported to the municipal level, the ERs. They can do all the erasures, the snow picks, all the changes. And by the time it reaches the national level, it's a completely different number, totally, in the provinces.
So many
through the decades. Through the decades. Right now, after so many protests that we've seen using automated elections, it's mostly 99% accurate. 99% accurate. Even in the recounts, it's 99% accurate. The beauty of it is the least amount of human touch, ika nga. It's the machine that counts, the machine that transmits, and it is also much easier for us and much quicker. If you notice, during the automated elections, ladies and gentlemen, within a matter of days, alam mo na kung sino yung Senate Magic 12. Alam niyo na rin yung President and Vice President.
That same night also.
You will already know the trends. And I think that's part, again, that's also a good part of moving forward after the elections. Because I remember when it used to be manual elections, the counting can take even weeks and sometimes months. And you have both opposing camps or many camps that are out there trying to vie for the presidency and vice presidency, fighting each other in the streets. Very divisive, very emotional, very mentally draining. So I think it's a very good step forward. Automated elections is a very good step forward, and I'm glad that the youth today have participated. I've noticed we've one of the highest electoral turnout, 83%. A large, I think, double the amount of young voters from the last elections of 2019. That's a first step, a good step forward.
But is there something that Congress, the Senate and the House would like to look into when it comes, for example, to the vote counting machines? You know, are we going to change things up a bit? Because, you know, people say, baka meron tayong konting problema.
Well, I think there may na konting aberya, but I guess like any hardware, whether it's your own computer, your laptop, or your cell phone, where my messages disappear every 20 minutes, it happens. It happens. So I think maybe we can look at other suppliers. We could do that in the next 2025 national elections. We can actually look for possible election VCMs. There's these what you call the counting machines, of course, the electronic counting machines. But as of now, it's Smartmatic who's the lead in all over the world. But there could be other available technology. You know, with technology, it changes every day. So we in the Senate are open, especially in the Committee on Electoral Reform, to looking at other technologies. In some countries, you have actually the face of the, it's like an ATM machine. You have the face of the candidate, and then pipindutin mo lang, and then you get the receipt. Yeah, you get the receipt. Basically, in the end, makikita mo din kung mali o tama yung...
So wala nang shading.
Wala nang shading. I've experienced that dun sa election namin ng Red Cross. We use that type of machine. Yun nga lang, it takes a lot of machines. Kasi medyo maraming tao. But there's a lot of technology out there. We should be open to using newer technology.
That's good to hear. Okay, I'm going to ask you for your final words. At the same time, address this issue na, you know, well, kanina, para bang, you know, nag-relax lahat nung nagsalita nga si Romy Mac, no? And you yourself and the other members of the Joint Canvassing Committee look relaxed, you know, you're not tensed up, no? So,
Yes, actually, we all applauded the action of the two legal counsels of the two contenders for second and fourth place, if I'm not mistaken. But what is important, I think, is being able to accept the results of the elections, whichever side you're on. That's the democracy. We live in a democracy. We're not in a autocratic rule in other countries, and I won't mention which countries, but lest that the ambassador will call me tomorrow, but or tonight. We're one of the largest democracies in Southeast Asia. We're very proud of it. We directly elect the president and vice president. It's not through a parliamentary system or a party system. And I think we should be proud of our democracy, and we should be proud of how quick we were able to count the votes through the quick election counts that we've had with the different news agencies and together with the PPCRV. And I think we should stick to that. Remember, whoever side you're on, we should celebrate now our democracy. We should celebrate now our institutions and our processes. I think that's what we should be celebrating, and we should unite as a people and move away already from the very divisive elections that we've had and start building the economy. That's what we need to do after the pandemic.
Thank you so much. Mig Zubiri, a newly re-elected senator. Congratulations, by the way. Number 8, no?
Yes,
Number
ma'am.
8. And we're looking forward to what's going to happen in the 19th Congress. Maraming salamat sa'yo, Senator Mig Zubiri. Let's go back over to Rico. Rico.
Thank you so much, Pion Tiveros, there with Senator Mig Zubiri, live from the Batasang Pambansa in Quezon City. And we have more news after the break. Keep it right here on Newsnight on CNN Philippines. News you can trust.
Exodo, Kabanata 18, versikulo 21. Ngunit pumili ka ng mga taong may kakayahan, may takot sa Diyos, mapagkakatiwalaan, at di masusuhulan. Gawin mo silang tagapangasiwa sa libo-libo, daan-daan, 50-50, at 10-10.
Ang mabuting balita ay hatid sa inyo ng MX3.
You're watching Newsnight right here on CNN Philippines. The country has not reported a single monkeypox infection, but officials are already doing border surveillance and preparing the healthcare system. Caroline Bonquin, who is covering the health beat for us, breaks down everything we have to know about monkeypox. A gentle reminder to our viewers, some photos might be disturbing.
For years, the monkeypox viral disease is common in Western and Central Africa. It's caused by monkeypox virus, which initially came from animals like certain monkey, rat, and squirrel species, then transmitted to humans. Infectious disease specialists say climate change and travel may be reasons it's now re-emerging even in countries where it's not usually detected. Upon infection, you might have no symptoms for 5 to 21 days. Then you get fever, followed by either chills, headache, sore throat, malaise, fatigue, muscle and body aches, and swelling of lymph nodes in neck. On the second week, as the World Health Organization chart shows, red rashes will appear. Then it will be filled with clear fluid, then pus.
This is also the stage where the person is highly infectious.
Rashes will stay for 2 to 4 weeks until it gradually dries up.
That means that there is already recovery of the patient, but still, the patient is still highly infectious as long as rashes is there.
Monkeypox spread through respiratory droplets when talking and coughing without face mask, when one touches lesions, when handling contaminated linens, and through exposure to infected patients' body fluids. Compared with measles and chickenpox, monkeypox rashes develop slower and there are more on face, hands, and feet.
Lesions mismo, hindi siya dapat kamutin. Do not scratch or touch the lesions. Keep it clean and dry. What we want to avoid, magkaroon ng secondary bacterial infection, yung skin lesions.
There's no antiviral treatment for monkeypox. Symptoms will be managed as it appear, but vaccines against smallpox could work against it.
Kasi yung virus that causes smallpox, monkeypox, magkakamag-anak yung mga yan, no? So, may cross protection. It's just that wala pa tayo ngayong supply, no, ng vaccines, smallpox.
She says it doesn't spread as fast as the virus that causes COVID-19 infection, but complications like pneumonia could be fatal. Caroline Bongkin, CNN Philippines.
The Health Department is coordinating with other countries for smallpox vaccines. Isolation facilities are also in the works. All eyes on the plans of the incoming Labor Secretary and Migrant Workers Chief. The next Dole head, Bienvenido Laguesma, vowed to conduct dialogues with various stakeholders on issues such as contractualization and raising the minimum wage. Some groups are skeptical due to his past lawyering for employers and the supposed lack of reform during his term as Dole Chief in the Estrada administration.
Kung pwede na po na mag-start on the first day na kami po ay nanombrahan, siguro nais ko na rin po siguro magtrabaho kaagad para walang hayatos doon sa mga serbisyo na dapat ipagkaloob ng Department of Labor and Employment. Mahalaga po na mapagtulong-tulungan at kung mayroong tulong, suporta, unawa at paggalang ang bawat isa sa sektor, panig ng manggagawa at namumuhunan at sa gobyerno, makakaharap naman tayo dyan ng hopefully a win-win formula.
Mr. Secretary Laguesma, you already accepted it. I hope that you can do better than 570. 33 pesos, there's already there a number, 640 poverty threshold. So we've been giving out below poverty wages. Secretary Laguesma, a friendly reminder lang, it is Department of Labor and Employment, hindi management.
Labor groups support the appointment of Susan Toots Ople as the head of the newly formed Department of Migrant Workers. Ople says she is looking to review the hiring system for overseas Filipino workers to make sure they don't end up with abusive employers.
It would be exciting to find out what are the drivers in every region that would push, like for example, a mother to consider working abroad. What are these drivers? Is it climate change? Is it kasi may disparity sa wages? No? So rural workers ba ang mas na-entice o yung mga nasa urban centers? I mean, it's been some time, halos lahat anecdotal. I would like to see some science and some data-driven projections to guide us in migration governance. Paano yung mga previous employers na meron na palang cases of abuse, bakit nasa roster pa rin? So, yun gaano ba ka consistent yung blacklisting of abusive employers? And pag na-blacklist, gano'n na lang ba yun? Or do we take an extra effort of filing cases against them? Hindi natin alam.
President Rodrigo Duterte asks the next administration to explore nuclear energy as an alternative power source amid rising fuel prices. In a cabinet briefing, Mr. Duterte brought up the construction of the Bataan nuclear power plant during the term of the late dictator Ferdinand Marcos Sr. The activation of the $2.2 billion power facility did not push through because of concerns of a nuclear disaster similar to what happened to the Chernobyl power plant in Ukraine.
Total, ang nag-umpisa naman ito si Marcos noon. You know, oil is not infinite. May katapusan yan. Someday it will dry up. It would be good for any government to prepare the possibility of making the transition earlier from oil, yung fossil fuel, to nuclear. Kasi nuclear is forever. Kaya lang, medyo delikado to. You know, kagaya na sa Chernobyl ng Ukraine, nagkaroon ng leak.
Marcos Jr. is pushing to revive the Bataan power plant. On Monday, he said South Korean experts will assess the possibility of activating the facility. And straight ahead on Newsnight, calling all 90s kids, one of your favorite boy bands is coming back to Manila next year. And Marvel fans are in for more surprises. A look at the new trailer for Thor, Love and Thunder. Next, keep it right here on CNN Philippines. News you can trust.
People are more aware of sustainability, pero nandun pa rin yung challenge on how to really live the sustainable lifestyle.
You always have to look for something deeper. Ano yung magiging impact na sa buhay mo? You always have to start somewhere. Small steps are always better than nothing.
Gusto namin, nakukuha rin ng ibang tao yung idea and ma-replicate. Kasi yung ganitong mga bagay, zero waste, pagtulong sa mga farmers, para lumaki yung impact, kailangan mas maraming gumawa.
Save time and shop online at the SMC Hub, San Miguel Corporation's e-commerce platform that delivers your groceries and more straight to your door. It's easy to order. Step 1. Choose your delivery location. Step 2. Check out your most trusted San Miguel quality products and add to cart. Step 3. Choose your payment method and check out. The SMC Hub delivers to anywhere in Metro Manila and to select municipalities in Cavite and Rizal. Same-day delivery is available Mondays to Saturdays if you place your order before 12 noon. Spend more time doing the things you love. Just Hub it delivered. Visit us now at thehub.sanmiguel.com.ph. Your home made better with San Miguel.
Bawal muna ang pakikipag-usap sa loob ng mga tren ng MRT. Some residents are back on the streets of Sampaloc, Manila after the 48-hour lockdown. Pagtaas ng mga kaso ng COVID-19 dito sa bansa. Naglagay na ng mga improvised barriers para sa mga nagbibisikleta. Typhoon Ulysses, a super typhoon. Christina Tulak, CNN Philippines.
Mano po, a traditional Filipino gesture, a sign of respect to our elders. The power of the word please and thank you. More than just pleasantries, they're necessary to show respect and appreciation, much like wearing a mask.
Welcome back to Newsnight, where we go above and beyond the headlines. I'm Rico Hizon, sitting in for Pia Ontiveros. And here's news just in. Liloan Mayor Cristina Frasco is also the spokesperson of presumptive Vice President Sara Duterte, says the Davao City Mayor has received information about the possible date of the proclamation. And we heard earlier from my colleague, Pia Ontiveros, who's currently at the Batasang Pambansa after she spoke with Senator Mig Zubiri, that the canvassing of the votes could be finished by early afternoon. They will be taking a 1 to 2 hour break. And at the earliest, we could see the proclamation of Bongbong Marcos and Sara Duterte as early as 4 in the afternoon. So that was basically the speculation of Senator Migs Zubiri. But according to the spokesperson of Sara Duterte, Cristina Frasco, she will endeavor to attend the proclamation and exert her best efforts to make it on time in Manila, because she currently has meetings in Antique and Iloilo. And that's the latest from Sara Duterte's camp. And now moving on to sports news. What were the highlights of the 31st Southeast Asian Games in Hanoi, Vietnam? Well, Pauline Versosa takes a look at the athletes who made the Philippines proud.
After 12 days of action in the 31st Southeast Asian Games in Hanoi, Vietnam, Team Philippines is going home with a total of 52 gold medals, on top of 70 silver and 104 bronze medals to finish 4th overall in the 11-nation meet, behind top 3 Vietnam, Thailand, and Indonesia. Gymnastics sensation Carlos Yulo emerged as the country's most bemedaled athlete, wrapping his stint with 5 gold and 2 silver medals.
Masaya, pero syempre po, hindi pa rin po satisfy sa mga, especially sa performance ko po. May mas igaling pa po, or may mas i-improve pa po ako.
The country struck gold in more than 20 sports, including athletics and dance sport, which produced 5 gold each. Filipinos also dominated in esports, taekwondo, billiards, and women's basketball. In weightlifting, Olympic champion Heidelin Diaz lifted her way to another gold in the 55-kilogram category, while weightlifting prodigy Vanessa Sarno nailed her first gold medal while setting a new record in the 71-kilogram division. In boxing, the Philippines finished with 3 gold medals, 1 silver, and 5 bronze, led by Olympic medalists Ymir Marshall, Ian Clark Bautista, and Rogen Ladon. In bowling, 22-year-old Merwin Tan ruled the men's singles to put an end to the country's 11-year drought in the event. History was also made by swimmer Chloe Isleta after conquering the women's 200-meter backstroke, a first for the Philippines since 1993. Among those successful in their title defense were pole vault sensation EJ Obiena, wushu artist Agatha Wong, and 3-time triathlon queen Kim Mangrobang.
I was very surprised when I bagged the gold and the silver, and I'm really grateful once again.
Hindi ko sobrang ina-expect na mag-gold rin ako sa duathlon. Kasi my plan is to do kung ano lang yung gagawin ko sa triathlon.
In football, the Filipinos followed up their historic World Cup ticket with a bronze medal in the regional meet for their first podium finish in 37 years. But for some, the games were also marked with heartbreaking defeat. For the first time in 31 years, Gilas Pilipinas settled for the silver medal after suffering a shocking loss to Indonesia in the finals, ending their 3-decade reign in Southeast Asia. The regional games will return for its 32nd edition in May 2023 in Cambodia. Pauline Versosa, CNN Philippines.
Moving now to NBA action, a blowout victory by the Boston Celtics ties the Eastern Conference Finals at 2 games apiece. The Celtics crushed the Miami Heat in Game 4, 102-82. Game 5 is set for Thursday, 8:30 a.m. Philippine time. And if the Golden State Warriors win tomorrow's match, they're off to the finals. Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals tips off at 9 in the morning. The Warriors beat the Dallas Mavericks in Game 3 yesterday, giving them a 3-0 record. Shifting gears, and TikTok is letting live streamers charge viewers monthly for exclusive perks. The live subscription feature comes with subscriber badges, custom-designed emotes, and a subscriber-only chat. TikTok says this is to give creators more opportunities to earn while providing fans a chance to thank their favorite TikTokers. The function launches on May 26th. For Westlife fans, get ready to see the Irish boy band once again. The Wild Dreams Tour is coming to Manila in February 2023. To be exact, February 20, next year at the Araneta Coliseum. Ticket selling starts next Saturday, June 4th at 10 in the morning. Marvel fans are in luck as well. A new poster and trailer for Thor, Love and Thunder, starring Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman, dropped today. The release gives us a first-hand look at Christian Bale as the villain, Gore, the God Butcher.
He's just my first bad guy.
You never forget your first. You are not like the other gods of kill. You have something worth fighting for.
Looking forward to Thor, Love and Thunder arriving in local cinemas this July. And that's it for tonight. Join me again at 9 for the final word. I'm Rico Hizon, sitting in for Pion Tiveros for Newsnight, where we go above and beyond the headlines. Good night.
This program is brought to you by
Halos 200 grupo ang pagpipilian ng mga botante para sa ibobotong party list. Sikapin natin kilalanin ang ilan sa kanila. Kasama natin ngayong hapon dito sa studio si Alex Abaton, ang first nominee ng Bayaning Tsuper o BTS party list. Habang makakasama naman natin via Zoom si Darlon J. Sayarot, ang first nominee ng Computer Literacy Innovation, Connectivity, Knowledge o CLIC party list. Una muna, magandang hapon sa inyo. Una muna tanungin natin, syempre pakibigyan kami ng background ng inyong mga grupo. Paano po ba nabuo ang inyong grupo? Sino-sinong miyembro? Ilan kayo? Background po, sir.
Well, actually, ang Bayaning Tsuper po ay nabuo noong 2018. It started as a road safety movement, particularly in Zamboanga City. At nung una kasi, from 2018 to 2019, nakita natin, even now, one of the continuing challenges po natin sa Pilipinas, yung mga road crash incidents. No? In fact, ang sabi ko nga, ito yung kumikitil ng buhay ng pagkarami-raming Pilipino. At just to drive the point, in 2019, umabot po tayo ng 12,764 yan, or World Health Organization data, or 30 to 34 a day yung namamatay. So part of it, nakita natin na there should be an effort really to put this issue at a national agenda. Ako naman, galing ako sa LTO bago ako tumakbong first nominee ng Bayaning Tsuper. I was formerly the regional director of LTO Region 9 for 20 years. No? So, ibig sabihin yan, yung aking sektor na pinanggalingan ay sektor talaga ng transportation. And part of it is yung ating advokasya naman, yung ating maging boses o kinatawan ng sektor ng transportation. Kaya po nagkaroon ng Bayaning Tsuper.
When you say Bayaning Tsuper, ilan naman po, maganda rin po yung background nyo when you say na LTO pala po kayo. No? So, yung mga policies, ganyan. Pero yung mga tsuper, ilan po ang, yung talagang nasa kalsada, ilan po ang mga miyembro nyo?
Napakalaki niyan. Hindi lang po 10 milyon yan. In fact, pag sinabi po nating tsuper yan, nandiyan yung habal-habal, yung
grupo niyo po?
Ay, yung sa amin po, yung grupo po namin sa Region 9, mabot po kami ng almost more than 4,000.
Okay.
But sabi ko, yung plataforma na dala-dala ng Bayaning Tsuper is yung plataforma po para sa ating mga tsuper. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang po ito
Yung
sa
lahat
Region
po,
9,
sa
but
buong bansa.
sa pangkalahatan. At alam naman natin, Ruth, na itong kasalukuyang pandemya, ang isang sektor na pinakamatinding tinamaan, yung sektor ng transportation. At nakita natin na parang may pagkukulang doon sa pagkalingan ng ating pamahalaan. At dito pumasok yung ating, kumbaga, sentimento na malasakit sa kanila na dapat magkaroon ng kinatawan ng sektor ng transportation.
Okay, puntahan ko lang po si Darlon na kasama natin from CLIC Party List. Pakipakilala naman ang iyong grupo at ikaw bilang first nominee. Walang audio. Walang, baka naka-mute. Yan, go ahead.
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Ako po pala si Darlon Sayarot. Ako po yung first nominee ng CLIC Party List. Ang CLIC Party List po, it stands for Computer Literacy, Innovation, Connectivity, and Knowledge. And we believe that technology is the way forward. Ang plataforma po ng Click is about technology, and we want to automate local government and national government. And also, we want to innovate the industries using technology.
Gusto ko lang malaman, naku, parang nakita ko kasi medyo ang bata ng itsura nitong si Darlon, no? Kasi kung manalo kayo, ikaw talaga haharap sa Kongreso, di ba? Bigyan kami ng konting background. Why do you think you best represent itong Click Party List? At sino-sino ba? Sino-sino ba ang miyembro ng grupo nyo at nire-represent nyo?
Actually, when we talk about technology, it's it's for everyone. It should be a consciousness, it's not about a particular group. But for every sector, we need technology kasi for example our educational system. So yung educational system natin, it's very hard hit this pandemic. So ang dami natin mga public school student na nag-rely sa module-based na pag-aaral. Samantalang dapat ang lahat ng mga estudyante natin equipped sila ng ating government ng laptop, ng internet, at syempre ng online learning module. So I think lalo na yung mga online sellers natin, mga online streamers natin, sila yung mga industry na kinakailangan talaga ng better technology in our country. So alam naman natin na may problema yung connectivity natin pagdating sa internet, but we are getting there. We want to push for digital infrastructure in our country so that yung connectivity natin sa internet hindi pumantay sa mga karatig nating bansa.
Sige, balikan ko naman dito si Attorney Abaton. Marami na rin po kasi mga groups, no, na transport groups na hindi lang not necessarily present sa Congress, pero marami akong mga ini-interview, 'di ba, pag may mga issue po tayo. So ano po ang bentahin ng inyong grupo ng Bayaning Tsuper?
Ang pinakabentahe po ng aming grupo is that yung aking pinanggalingan sa sektor ng transportation, yung aking experience as lawyer and for 20 years as regional director. Yung pong ating second nominee rito is a lawyer himself also, si Attorney PJ Veracruz, and also we have the third nominee, si Dr. Estela D. Guzman. Ang pinakabintay po namin dito is that kami yung sektor na nung nakita namin yung sektor na nangangailangan ng pagkalinga, ako mismo personally, naikot ko na po ang buong Pilipinas at nagkaroon ako ng dialogo sa mga tsuper, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, at doon natin narinig kung ano yung mga pangangailangan sa sektor ng mga toda, sa mga tricycle po natin route. Maniwala ka, yung kanilang mga terminal, walang disente o kalidad na mga terminal itong mga toda natin. And that's one of our platform. Yung pagbibigay din po natin ng mga pre-legal assistance, yung pong pagbibigay din po natin ng mga medical road crash incident insurance, bahagi po yan ng ating plataforma. At isang plataforma rin po ng Bayaning Tsuper doon sa issue ng kaligtasan sa daan is yung integration of road safety education sa ating DepEd curriculum mula elementary hanggang high school. Dahil nakita po natin, ako mismo, Ruth, in my 20 years as regional director, ang magpapadisiplina po sa daan, sa mga drivers, sa road users, sa pedestrian, hindi po law enforcement, it's really the education. Ito po yung ginawa ng Malaysia, ng Thailand, and ng Vietnam. So, kaya kami, nakatutok kami dito sa mga programa na to na maisulong natin dahil nakita natin, even now, wala tayong komprehensibong programa pagdating sa kaligtasan sa daan. Meron tayong mga protracted yung effort, but what we want is a comprehensive one. And that's one of the paramount legislation that hopefully we will institutionalize yung road safety sa ating DepEd curriculum.
Siguro dahil nabanggit nyo na rin yung mga issues na yan, ano po kaya ang stand nyo doon sa yung bagong, hindi naman siya bago, pero in-implement yung mga test, di ba, before, yung pag magre-renew ka ng license. Medyo marami po kasing doon parang protest
Totoo yan, Ruth, before nung 2020 ng August po, wala tayong requirement sa pagkuha ng student permit. All you have to do is yung ating medical certificate and birth certificate. Nung nag-umpisa po ng 2020 ng August sa pamumuno po ni Asek Galvante, in fact, sabi ko nga po, this is one of the kumbaga milestone ng LTO na nagkaroon tayo ng ganitong requirement na bago ka mabigyan ng student permit, meron tayong tinatawag na 15 hours theoretical driving course. No? Ibig sabihin po niyan, seminar po yan, 3 module yan, para masiguro natin na yung mga binibigyan natin ng licenses eventually will have a threshold of knowledge on road safety education. And I think that's even consistent with Republic Act 10930 as amended po yung ating
So
Republic
if
Act
ever po, ano
4130.
pong plano nyo dito sa, kasi may iba na gustong tanggalin
Well,
na muna,
sa atin
or
na-
but it's in the law, sinasabi nga po ng
Ang sa akin rin talaga, supportado po natin yan dahil at least for one time in our country, nagkaroon tayo ng ganitong programa na siguruhin natin na lahat ng kumukuha ng lisensya may alam po talaga.
Sige, puntahan natin si Darlon. Ano naman yung pinag-usapan kasi namin ni Attorney Abaton, yung kanilang advocacy and priority legislation. Kayo naman, dyan sa Click Party List, binanggit mo na, di ba, yung digital infrastructure, ano pa ang inyong priority legislation? Walang audio, sorry.
One of the priority legislation po ng CLIC is to give all the public school students free internet. We want to also give all the public school students an equipment like a laptop or tablet for them to be able to access yung online learning platform na dapat na ipoprovide din ng ating Department of Education. So and another platform that we want to push is to automate local government and national government. Na alam naman natin na kumbaga if we are able to automate our system and our government system, then our government will be more efficient in serving our people.
Huli na lang, dyan na kay Darlon, ano ang message mo sa voters na, 170 plus party list, more than 60 seats up for grabs? Ano ang message na simulan natin kay Darlon and then kay Attorney Abaton?
Ang mensahe ko lang po sa ating mga botante, hopefully this coming May 9, 2022 election, pag-isipan po talaga natin na mabuti kung sino yung dapat natin iboto. Pagdating naman sa Click Party List, simple lang po ang tagline po namin, buhay gawing high-tech. So we believe that technology is the way forward, and sana po samahan niyo po kami sa pag-innovate ng sistema dito sa ating bansa. Para sa ganun naman, hindi naman natin kailangan mag-invento ng bagong teknolohiya. Kailangan lang natin i-implement yung mga best practices sa mga ibang bansa na mas develop na kaysa sa bansa po natin. Yun lamang po. Maraming salamat.
Attorney Abaton, kayo po.
Well, Ruth, yung pong ating party list system sa Pilipinas, halos 3 dekada na po yan. At sa loob ng 3 dekada, hindi na po natin naramdaman kung ano ba yung naging silbi or anong naging kainatan. No? And that's precisely why ang Bayaning Super po, lagi kong sinasabi po ito, na kami lang yung party list na masasabi ko na meron kaming advokasya, malinaw yung advokasya namin at may plataforma para iangat yung buhay ng ating mga super.
Maraming pong salamat sa inyong panahon. Si Bayaning Super First Nominee Alex Abaton at Click Party List First Nominee Darlon J. Sayaron.
DYKB Radio.